My name is Raphael Garay, and welcome to the Art of Inspiration. Each week, we will bring you the keys to success, ways to build a better mind and body, and keep you inspired in the pursuit of your dreams. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Now let's go get inspired. Hello everyone, and welcome to the Art of Inspiration podcast. I am so excited. Today I have an amazing guest. As you all know, I always try to follow the idea of bringing on people that are experts in mindset, body, and business. And I have someone who happens to really embody all of that. She has a killer mindset. She is an entrepreneur. She is the founder and owner of the GOAT Wine. She's a phenomenal and tremendous athlete, the star of NBC's season 2, The Titan Games, and just overall such an amazing person. Ladies and gentlemen, Margaux Alvarez. Margaux, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us today. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
So I saw you on NBC's The Titan Games, and right away, I was blown away by your athleticism, and you were just an amazing person. And I heard a little bit about your story, what it is that got you into fitness and athletics, a little bit of your background as a winemaker and owner of a winery. Tell everyone a little bit about your story.
Yeah. I won't divulge too much, but yeah, I was originally born in California, but I grew up in Montana. Always been very active in my life, always kind of gravitated towards challenging situations, activities. My sisters and I were very active outdoors at a young age, and so that was part of like who I was. Ended up graduating high school in Montana, going to university at Hawaii Pacific University. Was out there for about 5 years. Went through obviously a very challenging point in my life when I was out there. I think it was my last semester of university in 2008 when my sister passed away. And so that was a very pivotal point in my kind of life, I think. And it shifted my mindset. It took me a few years to kind of figure out my way and finding my way. But I think it was going through that challenge and kind of learning how to cope with those emotions or deal with someone that passed away at such a young age, especially my sister, her being 20 years old. It was kind of like a stab to the heart where it's like someone's lost their life at such a young age when the future or the life ahead was going to be a big potential for her. So I think that was very pivotal in my life and where it threw me. It kind of put me into a focus of like, how do I want to live my life? What do I want to do in my life? And I kind of threw myself into fitness. That was something where I could kind of not necessarily cope with the emotions, but it allowed me a way of like an outlet to be able to work out, sweat, feel good. I loved running at the time. And I think when I moved from the university to the Bay Area to kind of like start my career and finish or continue life after university, I think it was something that running gave me that solace. I could go and think, or I could not think at all and just run and be in nature. I think that was something that helped me a lot. And so for that, to throw myself into fitness and personal training and activities, whether it was in the gym or outside, I think that was something that gave me kind of like some stability and like kind of like a flagpole to kind of like guide myself. And that obviously led me definitely different paths down the fitness realm, throwing myself into the functional fitness realm with CrossFit and competing at a high level there. I always wanted to help other people and inspire other people and motivate them. And I think that's rooted in maybe not feeling that I didn't help my sister, that I maybe couldn't help her, like save her in a way. And I think that gave me maybe a point like, all right, if I couldn't have saved her, how can I maybe save or help other people? And I think that's what personal training did, to be able to help others. And then if I can reach my physical achievements, then in turn, I can give back to the community. I can give back to people that are supporting me and help them with them endeavors. And that kind of was the bridge point or the kind of methodology or thought process behind starting the wine company. I've always loved wine. My parents loved wine. They taught me about it when I was younger. Being named after Chateau Margaux, I think, was kind of like a destiny thing in life. But seeing how the process in winemaking is very similar to the process of fitness or the process in business. It takes a long time to reach your goals. It takes a long time to start the business. There's a lot of intricacies that go into it that maybe you don't see on the forefront. And so I see the winemaking as a mirror to that. And I thought, all right, well, if I can share my story with fitness, but also share my story with winemaking, then hopefully I can reach more people. And our whole message is work hard, wind down. So it's about finding that balance in life, enjoying the process, embracing the struggles and the successes. But at the end of the day, enjoying a glass of wine or two with family or friends or by yourself, just to kind of take a step back and be grateful for the day, because not every day is guaranteed. I think I learned that at a young age, and that allowed me to maybe be very mindful of life and like the bigger picture overall.
Wow. I need
Yeah,
to
that was
kind
a
of sit
lot.
back
Sorry.
and I need to take that in for a minute. I mean, the first thing I have to say is just a tremendous amount of respect for the resilience that you've had. You lost somebody that was your sibling, extremely close to you. Anyone can take that and use it as an excuse to just stop life and
Mhm.
just say, you know what, I'm not going to go anymore. And
Exactly.
you went the complete opposite direction, where you literally started running, and you started running, you started sweating, you got into nature, you got into physical fitness, you got into entrepreneurship, you got into wine, you built some just really incredible things. So as you're going through all of this, so you have the fitness part, you're running, you're building this business. What's going on in your mind? I have to assume that you just have an incredible mindset. So what shifts did you make? What questions did you ask yourself? How are you talking to yourself? What's going on during this time?
Yeah, I think mindset is very important. And I think a lot of people don't give enough credit to it. When you're in the gym, you think about the physical adaptation that you're doing, the physical work that you're putting in, but that mental training is just as important. And that mindset's huge. And I think playing golf for 10 years growing up, that helped me very much so, because if you look at golf as kind of your mindset, like you have so many strokes that you're hitting, you have so many holes that you're going after, that you want to hit par, you want to like make sure you have a straight shot on the course. And if you have a really bad shot or a really crappy shot and then you miss the green or you hit the sand, you can't like throw the towel in. I mean, you can, but that's not going to allow you to set yourself up for the next hole or the next shot. And so I think that cultivated my mindset at a young age, where it's like, all right, if one bag deal doesn't happen, or if one deal goes through, or if I don't hit a certain lift, or I don't do something that I want to achieve physically, then it's like, it's not end all be all. But I think it's kind of like the sharpening of a tool, the sharpening of a stone. It takes a lot of repetitions, it takes a lot of practice. And there has, not that there has to be, but there's going to be a lot of times where you get told no. There's going to be a lot of times where you don't actually succeed, but it's how you handle that failure, or how you handle not achieving that goal, that's going to allow you to shape you go forward. And I looked about it in the gym. Like I would train 5 to 6 to 7 hours a day, training to my physical goals. And there was days where maybe I didn't hit a PR, or I couldn't hit so many pull-ups in a row, but it wasn't like I didn't make progress, because it's a time in the gym, and it's the process that we spend so much more time in that actually allows us to get closer to that goal. So I think in that mindset, I had to obviously stay positive, and I've always had a very positive mindset. Like the glass is always half full, or, oh, I'm grateful and thankful for everything that I have, because maybe it could be better, but it definitely could be worse. So I think just having the mindset where it's like, I'm going to take each day at a time and just say, hey, how do I attack today? What do I need to do to be successful? And just create super small goals on a daily basis. And I think that helped me get to monthly goals, yearly goals, whether that was for fitness or the business. And something that I think that kind of reminds me of a dream that I had when my sister first passed. She kind of came to this in my dream. She came to the balcony where I was sitting on a couch, and it looked super crazy and windy out there. And I went to go open the door. And as I opened it, it was so calm and so quiet. And even though it looked crazy windy outside, it was so peaceful. And she said, I can't come in, but I'm okay. And obviously that moved me in such a way, like wanting her to physically be there with me. But I think that kind of was her message. Like may not be with me physically, but in spiritual or mental capacity, she may be with me. She's watching over me in any facet. But I think I can take that same kind of dream and thought and experience that I had and take it into my life and my business. And I think a lot of people could hopefully take that into their life and say, hey, like someone may not physically be with you, may not to be able to physically lift that load. You may not to be able to actually have that deal come through, but that doesn't mean it's going to happen in the future. That doesn't mean you're not destined for that in a week or a month or a year, but it's kind of having that hope and that mental fortitude to say, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to continue to persevere towards that end goal, whatever that may be.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, if that didn't light a fire in you, I don't know what will. A lot of things really stuck out to me. the idea of like shifting your perspective, like you said, sometimes you're just not going to succeed. You're not always going to win. But
Mhm.
how do you view that? How do you look at that? And how do you pick yourself up? Then the idea of talking about your sister, just that spirit energy, somebody being there, and how are you having that mental fortitude? How are you looking at everything, and how are you pressing on? How are you moving forward?
Mhm.
I think you just lit a fire in me. Every part of that just resonated with me, and that's really deep, really inspiring.
Thank you.
I can't say enough about just the character that you have, and I'm sure throughout your life this is something that you've built through all of these things that you've gone through, and it led to just this amazing, driven, inspiring person. So thank you so much.
Of course,
um,
thank you.
Now, I look at you're so deep in fitness, and like you mentioned, sometimes I would work out 5-6 hours a day. Some people can't even get there.
Yeah.
That's just a crazy amount of just stamina, energy. And I also know, as an entrepreneur, you need a lot of stamina and energy. So if
Mhm.
we look at kind of the business side of things, how do you feel that health and fitness overall have contributed to your success as an entrepreneur?
I think it's definitely contributed a lot. I think, like I said, training up to those hours in the gym, it was a long time in the gym, but you look at that endurance piece of it, and it's like, just like business, it's a long process. I think of like the hare and the tortoise, right? You might go super fast somewhere, but how long are you actually going to stay there? Like, how far do you rise but before you crash? So it's that slow and steady progress, and it's putting in the work, making those steps each day to reach that goal. And I think the time in the gym, whether it's 5 to 6 hours or maybe it's 10, 20 minutes is all you got, that physical release and the production of endorphins for your body, not only physically but mentally, allows you to give you that kind of extra push in business or family or career or schooling, whatever it might be. And I think health and fitness, whether it's walking with weights every single day, hiking, going to the gym 3 times a week, doesn't matter. I think that physical activity is so good for our mind and our body that I think people maybe undermine it a little bit. They don't give it enough credit of what it can do for you. Like, you physically feel good. And depending on where you go, I know some places people go to CrossFit, or some people go to Orange Theory, or they go run on groups or cycling. But I've noticed a lot of that community is also great too, because you're around a group of people that are like-minded, and you might be coming from all different walks of life, but that doesn't
Mhm.
matter. You're all at one place for a physical goal or physical aspiration, but you're all there for the same time. And I think that's so important. And again, I like, if I could just stress, like, man, even if it's just like 10 minutes a day that you walk or you hike or you run or bike, whatever it might be, that is going to help you in business. That's going to help you in entrepreneur, family, schooling, in any facet, because it gives you that kind of break in time. And I'm all about like go and push, and that's great. But if you don't allow yourself to disconnect and take a moment back, then it's like, man, you get caught up in that, and it's hard to sometimes take that step back and say, what's the bigger picture? How can I absorb this and learn from it so I can use it for tomorrow or next year? So definitely stress it. It's very important.
Wow. Yeah. I always talk about the mind and body connection, and how it can have an impact on your business, whatever that might be. But I don't think I've ever said it that well. So I'm glad
You
that we
nailed it.
recorded this. We have it on tape. And so everyone, to truly understand that the mind and the body, I mean, you can be successful and you can have all of these things, but what the thing that's carrying you, your body, that's what's going to give you the energy. That's what's going to give you the fuel to really push forward. And as anyone out there in business knows, there's going to be times where you just need to push through things. And I think having like athleticism on your level, I don't know many people that have, but like you said, just going out, getting out in nature and moving is going to be a tremendous benefit to so many different areas of your life. So
Yeah,
thank you so much.
of
So,
course.
I mean, you've given us so much, and and through all of this, through the fitness, through dealing with setbacks in your life, dealing with the loss of a sister, um, everything that you've kind of gone through, you've just never stopped, keep pressing forward. And I know, just the fire that you've brought to this podcast, to this audience. I know that there is such an amazing journey ahead of you, because I don't think you're going to stop anytime soon. But up until this point, what do you feel was a true breakthrough for you? And what is your definition of success?
That's a great question. I think if I'm looking at kind of attributes that would maybe describe myself or I would use to continue, I think perseverance, to kind of continue forward, and maybe not give up, not necessarily for myself or for my sister, but also for my family, to kind of show, hey, can I be a beacon for my family, but also can I be a beacon for other people out there, whether it's female individuals, entrepreneurs, or it's anyone out there that has gone through a personal experience where they've lost someone close to them or they've gone through hardship. And I think that first, for me, for success, it's like, I'm going to make the most of each day. I'm going to live each day to its fullest. And I think that's something that I kind of put as a forefront for me after my sister passed, because that was her mentality. She would make the most of every day that she had, makes any opportunity that she had, she would take full advantage of it. And I think that's something that I wanted to embody, because if I can maybe do it for her since she's not here, then that's something that maybe I can fulfill her legacy. But at the same time, I'm also being able to fulfill mine and be able to share that with others. And I think the biggest success for myself and other people is like to work hard each day, put in as much effort as you can. But at the end of the day, take a step back and say, all right, like, what did I accomplish today? And of course, it's like, maybe I didn't get like halfway through my to-do list, or maybe I didn't get certain things accomplished, but it's like, let's look at the positive and say, what did I do to essentially make a step forward? And I think it's really important to kind of be aware of that. And everyone's definition of success is different, and reaching goals are great, but how much time do you spend actually getting to that goal or standing on that podium versus the time that's led up to there? There's a lot more time you spend there. So it's like, I would hope for myself and for others, like, you get to really enjoy the process and the journey. As a cliche as it sounds, enjoy the journey, enjoy the process. It's something that's like, hey, like, let's really like soak ourselves in that and absorb it to allow us to actually be present. Because it's like, if you say, well, I'll be successful when this happens, I'll be successful when that happens, and it's great, but what happens if you never reach that? Are you going to feel empty? Are you going to feel, oh, I didn't do it for them, or I didn't do it for myself? And then you're constantly searching. And there's a lot of validation I think people try to go through to do that. And it's like, at the end of the day, with your family, or you're by yourself, or with your significant other, are you happy? Are you present? Are you enjoying what you're doing? And so for me, I would say that would be like my definition of success.
Wow. I mean, that is amazing. And, it is so true that people tend to attach their happiness and fulfillment to whatever that end goal might be. And like you said, you just have to kind of fall in love with the journey and celebrate those little wins. As long as you're taking a step forward. I always like to say, whenever I'm giving a speech or on a lot of my podcasts, that, your vision, it's something that's kind of far off in the distance. And if you're a motivated person, when you get there, you're probably going to make another goal. So you always have this thing that's far off in the distance. And what you should celebrate is one step that you take closer to that thing, and be happy and fulfilled there. Because it's all about, like, really at the end of the day, you just need to be happy from now and for the rest of your life, really. So happiness in the journey. I definitely, that's just so amazing. And what I will say, is that you truly are a beacon. I mean, you've just me sitting here having the opportunity to connect with you. You are the definition of what I think inspiration is and should be. And I know that everyone and anyone that has an opportunity to listen to this and hear your story and learn a little bit more about you is going to be just tremendously inspired. So thank you very much. I mean, you've given us everything. You've given us your story. You've given us a ton of inspiration, a ton of insight. Now I know everybody out there is thinking, I need to connect with this person. How can everyone find you? Where do they connect with you on social media? How do they get your wine?
Yeah, so I'll have a lot of social media, but 321 Go, GAUX is my Instagram and Twitter handle. So I'm trying to be active on there and communicate with anyone that reaches out. I think it's really important. The community is important in all aspects of any community, and so I try to be as connected as I can. Our website is thegoatwine.com. And we also have an Instagram handle, the Goat Wine, for all the wine yoga related fitness things. So if anyone's interested in wine, they can check that out there as well.
Awesome. I will make sure I put all of that in the show notes so everyone can connect with you and go and get your wine and just follow the journey of an amazingly inspirational person. So, as I said, before I let you go, I have one last final question before we let you go.
Right.
So, let's just say that you happen to take a spaceship to the moon and it was going to be your last day on Earth. And you were never going to be able to communicate with anyone here ever again. But we gave you a box. And inside of this box, you can leave a gift to the rest of the world. And this can be, it could be something about mindset. It can be some advice that you give. What would you say, or what would you want everyone to know? What would your gift to the world be?
Oh man, that's a great question. I feel like there's so much that I want to put in there. I think overall the biggest thing that I want to say would be, make the most of every moment that you have and enjoy the time that you have with family and friends and soak up the time that you're with people in that present moment, because tomorrow is not guaranteed. And I think that's something I want to resonate with people. It's like, enjoy the process and enjoy what you're doing at this current moment, because life literally is a gift and it's so special. And I think sometimes we take it for granted that we have this. As far as we all know, everyone has different beliefs, but it's like we have this one life on Earth and we may not return. So what do you want to do with your time here? How do you want to impact people? So that'd be my message to everyone, is like, make the most of everything, celebrate the moments, embrace those struggles, because as much as those struggles might be, they're going to shape who you are and they're going to help you be stronger for the next challenge that you come across. But then also celebrate the successes and cherish those moments, because those will allow you to also see like that happiness and that that hard work pays off. That's what I would leave with them.
Wow. Embrace and cherish the moment. Every day is a gift. That's amazing. So amazing. Well, thank you so much. This interview, it touched my heart. I hope it touches the hearts of everyone else out there. I hope it gives a tremendous amount of insight and inspiration to anyone that hears it. And I just want to thank you so much again for taking the time and giving me the opportunity to have you on the podcast here. So, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. A winemaker, entrepreneur, tremendous athlete, incredible human being, Margaux Alvarez. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. I really enjoyed our conversation.
All righty. Thank you so much.
Take care.